What is up, guys? We're back at the bike one more time. Here is the dealio. Bringing that word back. Got the cam chest all done, but I thought I was done for the day. Package showed up, so I got my fork seals and some other miscellaneous stuff that I need down the line as well. I actually ordered a ton, not the full kits. I ordered one full kit and a bunch of upper oil seals, because that's really what goes bad most of the time. If you're in there, it's usually cheap enough to replace all of them, but in my case, I really just need that upper seal. I'm pretty good about saving the old stuff, and if it's usable and in good shape, we'll keep it. So let me turn you guys around and get the forks out, and we're going to do a redo video from the last one you guys saw, where I ordered the wrong Kayaba stuff, and now we have Showa. So let's get after it. I think this is the best stand we have for now. Pull the top hat off. Like I said, the uppers are kind of assembled already. But fork seal, significantly different than the old set. So these are going to drop down in here, which is fine. That's good. Those are the seals we want. Now we get the snap rings. Let's lay all these out in two sets. Snap ring, snap ring. This kit comes with the O-rings and the bushings for the lower. I don't know if originally I had no intention of rebuilding this that far. Let's see. I mean, we have everything, so we might as well, right? Slider bushings. Grab a rag here. Little plastic bushings here. Yank those out, or break them out, doesn't really matter. We will be more careful when these go back together, but for right now I'm not overly concerned. I believe they had two different styles on here. The double bushing one, which uses these little plastic things. Hopefully I have all the right parts in my own stash of things. Kind of like piston rings, these are just going to slide right on. Like so. Rebuilt. Now that is done, we do have new hardware for this too. The set screw is coated over. I'm not going to pull this drain. I don't need to. It wasn't leaking. So that's going to stay just like that. So yank these right out right now. Be a little more gentle on this one. Kind of like a piston ring. We'll lock them up one at a time. Slip those off. We'll drop our new ones on. The new ones are going to be much more flexible. Come on. There we go. Now we got two new fork seals for fork lowers rebuilt. These will go right down into the fork lowers after we get the fork seals in. So I'm going to chuck you guys up, or I'm going to chuck this up into a vise and move you guys over to the other side of the garage. We need the oil seal. These are going to drop down in here like so. And I should have two washers somewhere. Well, let's see what I got in the old stash. So I'll run the seals there. I'm not redoing the bushings and the lower sliders, but I will cheat on this since there's a little bit of powder buildup around the edge of this. So what I'm going to do is lube her up just a hair. Normally I don't have to do this. It's not a necessary step. but it should help slide this seal on a little bit better when we go to pound this in. If this wasn't coated, I would not be lubing that up, but I don't want the sharp edges on some of the powder there from the tape to cut into the actual seal. Like that. So seal's kind of press fit in now. What we need to do is drive that home. So let me grab some tools. We'll be right back. You guys are kind of in my way here, but we'll give it a shot. So we got our seal and a dead blow. Make sure whatever you're using is small enough to fit into the bore for the forks. Make sure you're in far enough to drop your snap ring back in. Like so. We are locked in and ready to go. We got a nice fork seal installed here. And then we'll use a little bit of oil on this seal when we go to reinstall. But the tubes themselves are actually in pretty good shape, so I'm not overly concerned on that one. So, only thing I didn't show you guys, top hat thing. I'm going to drop this in first, because it just makes it a lot easier than trying to wrestle it in through the seal. The bottom of that top hat is actually bigger, so a little bit of grease on here again, just kind of up at that top edge to get it started. Snug up my crappy Chinese vise. Where did I put the seal? So that little bit of grease kind of lets me get started here like that. Like I said, fork seals are relatively cheap, so I'm not overly concerned. If for some reason these are leaking like crazy and I gotta rebuild them, I don't mind. Then we'll just whack her in. There she goes. And then we'll take our new snap ring one more time. I like to set it in on one side, then work your snap ring around, and it should snap just like that. Didn't mangle the threads. Man, these are already filthy, but whatever. Grease layer protects it from scratches, I guess. So, now I'll bring you guys back over here. Fork seals are now in. New dampers are in. Let's go through the rest of this bag of brand new hardware. We have slider. I'll give these a quick little wipe down. I'm actually just going to dab a tiny bit of... Top hats are installed in the lowers, and these are pretty much ready to go. Just going to put a tiny bit of assembly lube here. Oh, actually, let's just use the grease. Grease and oil should work. So a little bit of lube on here. You just don't want to put them into a dry seal, especially a new one. Tiny bit of grease on there. Then top hats should settle all the way at the bottom. If it doesn't, you might have to just kind of move it around a little bit. The direction on this doesn't matter because I can interchange the lowers accordingly. a little dry on the seal. That was proper. I just rechecked it. Everything is good. So that is now in. Then we're going to take a brass or copper washer, or new bolt, and thread this in from the bottom. Use a little bit of spring pressure on this up top to get it to hold. Just like that until it locks in and bottoms out. And there is our fork. So one is pretty much done. I got the upper caps. Let me see if I have those. I'm going to have to dig around for the uppers. I know I have them, I just don't know which box I just put them in. That's fine. We'll come back to that in a minute. So same thing on the next one. Make sure your top hat's into the bottom. Lay this out here. Just going to re-grease this seal. On brand new dry seals, you just kind of want to make sure. I don't want the metal to bind, especially using used forks. So, fork tube, damper is in. We'll add our spring. Bolt, washer, pop these in. Like I said, a little bit of spring pressure up top. Lock those down. Like I said, new seals, tight. A little bit of resistance there is okay, in my experience at least. Then we got the little fork ones. I'll throw these caps back on. And the nuts. I don't even know if this shows up. I need washers for these still. But these will just get loose assembled here. Then we're going to throw the ugly plugs back into the top. Only because I want to have everything kind of ready to assemble as soon as we're done with everything. These I didn't actually buy. I've had these ones sitting around forever. But, I don't know, some people don't like the look of the dust boots. I do. I think these look better, personally. Nice clean cap. But I'll put these on now because the amount of times that I've assembled forks and remembered that those weren't on in my lifetime is way more times than I would like to ever admit. So, I'll drop the tops on here. They do need fluid, but I don't really want to finalize this yet. Well, I really don't want to have to oil them up right now. I think I actually do have fork oil, but I can't really run it yet. One second, other phone's ringing. We'll be right back. Those upper O-rings that I got here are for these upper plugs, so these might actually go on. I think the new plugs I got come with new ones too, so I'll have to double check that. I'm not going to tighten these down all the way, but there we go. Completely rebuilt forks ready for assembly and oil. These will bolt right up onto the trees, but it's a little difficult to mount these when I don't have the wheel. I do have a wheel, but it's not a roller yet, so all of this stuff will wait until I get the full roller done It just gives me a lot more room in terms of the generator and the regulator and figuring out where all the mount stuff goes. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things help me out. Trying to get to that 700 mark. Next milestone, I guess, if you will, and we're coming up on it, hopefully pretty quick. If I hit 1,000, I got a ton of shirts. I got 2 shirt designs in the works and a bunch of other stuff. Lots more coming your way. This bike's going to a show on March 25th. The greasiest in Lombard, so if anybody's around this area or local, come see us out there. We'll have the shop booth set up. This bike will be there. That chopper might be there. I haven't really decided yet. We'll have a van out, in theory. I don't know if it's going to be indoor or outdoor. We'll see what the weather does in the Midwest. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next one.